This is the introduction sign to Hopewell Rocks. Obviously it's in French and English. You can see it is not a cheap place to get in. You got a high tide and low tide. All the things are interesting. I did want to make a little point going into Hopewell Rocks. 62 years ago I took French in Licking High School, and just now I got to use some of it. I said good morning to a family in French, and they said it right back to me. The admission place is going to cost us an arm and a leg, but we're happy to pay it. As Lynn said, this place is huge. We've just arrived at the main building. For those who like a little perspective, that marker right there is where we are. This is not something you see every day. There is a Clean the People station. Shoes. I've seen one girl here, mud was up to her butt. Depends on how active you were. And this is where you get the mud. They let you go down. I think they limit the number of people. They got a lady ranger here that's taking care of that. This is just pretty cool. Low tide is going to be at 12:42. We're just descending to the ocean floor, actually, or the bay floor. This is the wall is right here. This is interesting. This is a line where all the people put their shoes that want to go barefoot across the mud flats. This is and yes, that is just pure mud. This is the lovely Lynn taking off her shoes and heading for the mud pit. Those are my feet. I have my shoes off. Lynn is over there. We're going to hit the mud flats. I know you're asking yourself, what the hell is those people doing? And what does that feel like? Well, it feels like mushy mud, and it is mushy mud, over sharp rocks. This is slow motion. Nobody, I mean nobody, is moving fast. It is slick, sharp, and most people have their shoes off. Obviously that's Lynn standing in the mud. This is kind of bragging. Last year Lynn and I walked the Narrows, which is a heck of a walk. Took us 7 hours. This hasn't taken us very long, but I kind of equate this with the Narrows. This is life-threatening if you fall in the mud. We and many hundreds of other people are waiting in line to get hosed off. His sister, I believe, or her sister, and the pink and mud really go well. An absolutely good mom and dad washing those kids off. Down a steep hill, and we're at a place called Big Cove. The sign at the Big Cove overlook raptors. If you have sharp eyes, you can see all the footprints in the mud. It is a pretty good view, I think, showing you the Bay of Fundy. You can see the tidal plain kind of to the right of the middle of the picture. The actual water is to the left. Tide is probably still going out. That tidal plain is going to get a little bit bigger, and then it'll stop, and then it'll start coming back in and it'll all disappear. We're looking from the overlook. I've moved to a different spot. You can see that there are actually caves down there. They have them roped off with yellow caution signs. Actually quite a few of them, and I'm guessing if you go in that cave and the tide comes up, that's the end of you. We have walked another trail and we're at Diamond Rock. Walk down to Daniel's Flats. That is Daniel's Flats. Serious mud. On the beach, down by the very edge of the mud flat, you can see over there the erosion turning into caves. They've got them marked off so you don't get killed in there when the water comes up. If those of you who have been to Utah and you saw the Hoodoo formations, these are very much the same. We have walked down to the caves. I'm not going to walk through that mud to get over there and go into one of them, but the sign says, "Danger, Will Robinson, danger." Standing on a fairly large rock right at the edge on the beach, trying to give you perspective of this area of the Bay of Fundy. That channel out there is really deep. We have decided to walk in these cave-like formations simply because the ground, the footing is firmer than we thought. That's actually a cave, has some depth. Lynn standing what I would consider truly the end of the world. There's a few tough souls still in the world. That couple down there is having a picnic and camping on the beach. We have moved from the trail to their restaurant. Give you a view of it. We haven't even walked up to see what they have, but whatever they have, we're going to have. This is a two-piece fish and chips is what I'm having for lunch, and Lynn is having the same. We'll call it a day today. If when I check this, if it's still good on audio, we're just finished lunch. We've had actually a marvelous day. We've walked big steps on our Fitbits, just like we did yesterday. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. We could really use the effort. Please be safe out there and have fun.